What is up, you guys? It's the Bombing Omen, and I'm bringing you another discussion video, and I'm putting some Infinite Warfare gameplay in it. I know a lot of people don't like this game, and I got a bunch of gameplays of it, so I figured I might as well make some use out of them. Before we get any further into this video, make sure you hit the like button, leave me a nice little comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So I'm going to be discussing the topic of Scuf and Elite type controllers. Why do people use them, and do they actually make you better at gaming in general? I get a lot of hate from using these controllers. People say that these controllers are for noobs, they're for people who can't use a regular controller, they're for cheaters, these controllers are cheating in general, they are modded, all sorts of different insults and criticism for these controllers. And I'm going to kind of defend them a little bit. Probably the biggest defense to using these controllers is that they are allowed in tournaments and you will not get banned online for using them. I will say that these controllers do give you an advantage against your opponents only if you are using them right, using them for what they are made for, because I've seen a lot of people switch over to these types of controllers and they didn't progress any at all. They still played the same, they were still bad, still had a negative KD, you know, all sorts of things. In my experience, I will say that using these controllers did give me a little bit of an edge when it came to playing Call of Duty multiplayer. There are other games that you can use these controllers for. I know Halo players use them. I know people who play sports games use them. I know some people who play racing games use them. I even know some top tier Dark Souls players that use these types of controllers. A lot of people ask me, what do these controllers do and how do they make you better? Well, here's how they make you better, guys. Now, here is my personal favorite, the Scuf Impact. I have the carbon fiber skin on it, and a lot of people know that I love this controller. I've had it for 3 years. The Scuf Impact has 4 paddles on the bottom. I also put the extended triggers on there to give it a little more sensitivity. You take the top buttons and you send it to the bottom of the controller. This allows you to be able to press those buttons with your bottom fingers and maintain your aim or usage on the thumbsticks without having to take your thumbs off to press those buttons. This is basically assisting you with multitasking. I would say the biggest benefit to using these types of controllers is putting the jump button on the bottom, and then when you're hitting the jump button, you're maintaining your thumbs on the sticks, giving you a more steady aim. It is pretty much known as the infamous Scuf jump. I also want to point out that a lot of these controllers come with a hair trigger system, trigger stop, or digital trigger system, pretty much allowing you to activate your triggers or bumpers just a little bit faster. Now, there is another method out there called claw hand placement. You take a regular controller and you use your pointer finger to press the buttons on the face of the controller. You then take your middle and ring finger and you use it to press the bumpers and the triggers on the controller. And this basically allows you to multitask while keeping your thumbs on the sticks. I have quite a few friends that practice this method, and I have to say, it took them years to get used to it. Now, I've seen a lot of people advise to not use that method. I've seen people say that it caused them hand pain, it caused them arthritis, all sorts of things. I've even seen in some cases where it warped people's fingers, which is kind of crazy. I didn't realize that pressing buttons could actually do that. But I've also had friends that have used this method for years and their hands are fine. So, I mean, what I would say in this situation is that not everybody's hands are the same. Now, I want to revert back a little bit. A lot of famous YouTubers use these controllers, guys. All those pro players that you watch use these controllers. I've had a lot of people on social media talk trash to me for using them, saying that I suck and that I'm a noob and that I should use a regular controller and see how good I am. Guys, I have been playing Call of Duty for a very long time. And before I even started using Scuf controllers, I still drop nukes like crazy. A lot of my old videos, I'm using a regular controller in them. I started using Scuf controllers in 2017. My first Scuf controller was the Scuf 4PS, and I still have the unboxing video on my channel if you want to go check it out. Before that, I actually had the Xbox Elite controller when it came out in 2015, and I didn't really think too much about the paddle system on the bottom, and I didn't use them. And honestly, when I used that controller, it was like using a regular controller, and I did not utilize it for what it was made for. What really motivated me in getting serious with these controllers was I started entering tournaments, and I would get pretty far, but I had a regular controller, and I would always come in third, fourth place against guys who had Scuf controllers. So I got tired of it, and I ordered me a Scuf controller. My first tournament with the Scuf 4PS, I walked away with a first place trophy. I really like Scuf controllers, and like I said, the Scuf Impact has turned into my favorite controller of all time. But there's also a lot of cons to using them. Scuf, the brand themselves, are not really reliable. I am constantly sending controllers in for a repair, and they'll go off for a couple weeks and then come back, but it's kind of a bummer because, I mean, you're without a Scuf for a couple weeks. That's why I have so many on standby, just to pretty much back one up. Over the years, there has been a lot of competition for Scuf that's come up. There are Battle Beaver controllers, there are Evil controllers, there's the Xbox Elite controllers, there's a couple of do-it-yourself button attachments. Sony's even come out with the back button attachment. I know Astro came out with a controller. I mean, there's a bunch of different types out there, and a lot of them are a lot cheaper than Scuf controllers, which is kind of crazy. Scufs are really expensive. I would say to get a good Scuf controller, you're spending about $240. So just understand that there are a lot of options out there to get this type of performance. Now, I want to revert back to where I said that these controllers are not cheating. There are a lot worse things you could be using. There are people using Cronus Maxes that have rapid fire, aim assist boost, all this other crazy mess. There are people using mouse and keyboard on console. And even though mouse and keyboard is pretty hard to master, but the people who do master this are unstoppable on console. I mean, there's a reason why mouse and keyboard on PC has no aim assist, but when they use aim assist with a mouse and keyboard, it's ridiculous. There are people using jitter mods that basically allow them to spam a shotgun a lot faster. There are people using aimbot. There are people using red boxes to see you through walls. And Scuf and Elite controllers do not do any of that. These types of controllers will also not make you unstoppable. You have to really get used to them overnight. You have to get accustomed to the settings, find what works best for you. But, you know, I get beat up all the time by people who use regular controllers. I mean, if you're good at the game, then you're just good at the game. If I was to put a number on how much these controllers elevated me, I would say about 5 to 10%. You know, it gives me a little bit of an edge. That number can honestly vary between different people, though. Here is one big question that a lot of people ask. Are they worth it? Well, that's really up for you to decide. If you are a competitive gamer and you compete in tournaments, I would say it's worth it. Why? Because, I mean, you're playing for money here. If you are a streamer or content creator on YouTube, I would also say it's worth it because, once again, you're pretty much playing for money here. If you really want to take your goal of being a professional gamer serious, I would say investing in these types of controllers are worth it. If you're just a casual gamer, not really looking to seek a career in gaming, it's probably not worth it, you guys. I mean, these controllers get pretty expensive. A lot of these controllers cost more than gaming consoles themselves, and that's kind of ridiculous. But like I said, guys, if you're really trying to take gaming serious, then you should look into these types of controllers. Not necessarily Scuf, but other brands as well, because they will provide similar performance and even match Scuf. Scuf is just so popular because they sponsor a lot of famous people and pro players. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. I hope you learned something from this. I hope that maybe you enjoyed the gameplay to those people who actually like this game. But I did use a Scuf Impact in this gameplay. So you get to see a little demonstration right here, you guys. Oh, and by the way, guys, I know a lot of you know that I ordered another Scuf Impact and I put the digital triggers and the digital bumpers on them. So the unboxing to that is going to be coming up soon, and I'm going to be comparing it to trigger stops. So tune in on that, you guys. Alrighty, over and out.